other than GATE score, does anything else affect the interview or selection, like specific academic background, project, any academic achievement, etc.? Sometimes even All India rank 1 in GATE may not get selected in the interview process, right, of CDS, let's say, or IISc. What could be the reason, and what qualities or skills is the department actually looking for beyond GATE?
So they don't want people who just come to IISc for 2-3 months and then switch to PSU. As soon as they get an offer from PSU, they just drop out of IISc and go there. So they do not want those kind of students. So if you are those kind of students, if you're one of them, then they will easily judge you. I mean, it's their job. They can easily judge you whether you are actually sincere or not. They are not asking you to solve some problem. So like in GATE, what we are given is we are given some problem, maybe some numerical problem, and we are supposed to solve that problem. So here they don't ask you a numerical problem. They ask you to judge your understanding of the concepts, intuition, or the gap between intuition and mathematics. They want to see how you solve a problem, how you approach a problem. So, okay, if you're going the wrong direction, they might point you out towards the right direction somehow. In some way, they will give you hints on something. They might point you towards the right direction, but they basically want to see how you approach the problem, how you attack the problem. They just don't want you to, blindly go and solve it like a mathematical problem, just doing solution. If you don't know answer to some question, don't just mumble something. Don't just say something. Tell them that, okay, I don't know this answer. Could you give me some hints? If you think that you will solve this, if you given hints. If you could not solve it given hints also, just say that, sorry sir, I don't know this answer to this question. Can you give me some other question? Okay. So that's how you can say answer.
Absolutely. Makes sense, because they are not some HR guys who you can just talk to, say random things and convince.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So they are very well, masters of that subject. So you cannot fool them anyway.
Hello everyone. In this interaction, we have Nihar Shah with us, who is going to help you not only in your CDS interview questions, but he is also going to answer some generic questions related to CDS that you have shared with us, that you have asked us. So first of all, Nihar, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir. Hi, everyone. My name is Nihar Shah. I am AR 26 in GATE 2023 Mechanical, AR 13 XC Mechanical 2023. I'm MTech coursework student at CDS department. Almost about to finish my MTech. I'm in second year. I'm currently doing quantum computing in my master's over here. So as my master's thesis. Yeah. So.
All right. So everyone, I'm sure, know by now that he is well aware of all of your questions that I am going to ask him. So let's first start with the questions related to interviews, and then we'll move on to some generic questions about CDS.
Sure.
So firstly, how should one prepare for CDS interview and written test within a short span of time that we have, like 7-10 days?
So particularly if you have very less time, CDS interviews, in CDS interviews, we are asked three questions. Maybe. First is in linear algebra. So one of the questions will be in linear algebra, and one of the pending interview professors will ask you some question in linear algebra. The second one is probability or statistics, probability and statistics, a slide of statistics, mainly probability focused. And the third one is a coding question. So they'll ask you simple coding questions, not difficult, maybe searching question or sorting question. How will you sort in O of n log n, O of n square, something like that. So these three are the main areas. Almost all of the interviews that happen here do not involve calculus or something like that. They are not involving some tough topics from calculus or something. They'll be mainly focused on linear algebra, probability and statistics, and coding. So normally every student is asked these three questions. These three questions are, in this order also. Most of the time this order. So they're asked these three questions, nothing from calculus or from any other topic. So these three are main important topics if you come for an interview here. So if you have time for 7 to 10 days, I suggest that revise GATE concepts, revise GATE linear algebra, probability statistics, and if you are interested, coding, you can just, you might have taken some courses in your undergraduate from coding as well. Maybe searching and sorting is not that difficult. We all have taken some course in our undergraduate studies where we have one course in computer programming which has searching and sorting as one of the topics. So maybe slightly practice about searching and sorting and those kind of questions. Simple, basic coding questions, not so tough, but simple, basic coding questions. Yeah. So in 7 to 10 days, that's what I would say. Revise Gate, revise Gate linear algebra, revise Gate probability, and do coding questions, simple coding questions, simple programming in C, C++ or Python, using Python or C++, simple coding programming questions. Yeah, that's all.
Understood. So level of questions from the coding, I'm sure all of you got the answer that the type and the topic are quite defined and quite easy, which you should be able to grasp if you don't know about it already from maybe your school coding or in your college. I'm sure we all had some experience with coding.
Yeah,
But what about the level of questions from linear algebra, probability, and
sure.
statistics? Gate
So
level is sufficient? Yeah.
no, so in linear algebra, probability and statistics, the level of questions is slightly above gate. I would not say very difficult than gate, but slightly above gate. So what they ask is they ask eigenvalue, eigenvector questions, then matrix decomposition questions. Like if given a matrix, is it diagonalizable or not? So when will it be diagonalizable? When will it not be diagonalizable? Those kind of questions. Then given a matrix, do a basis change. So basis change of matrix questions. So what does a determinant of a matrix represent? So questions kind of, I mean, those are the level of questions that they ask in linear algebra. Now, so I want to emphasize over here, they are not asking you to solve some problem. So, like in GATE, what we are given is we are given some problem, maybe some numerical problem, and we are supposed to solve that problem. So here they don't ask you a numerical problem. They ask you want to judge your understanding of the concepts, intuition, or the gap between intuition and mathematics. They want to see how you solve a problem, how you approach a problem, how you attack the problem, how quickly can you conclude from step A to step B. I mean, if you're stuck at some point, if you're given a problem, you're stuck at some point, then they will even help you to solve the problem. But they'll give you hints, like they will give you that, okay, what if you do this? What if you do this? And I mean, they want to see how quickly can you grasp those concepts, like grasp those hints. How quickly can you conclude from point A to point B? That's what they're checking. They're not checking whether the answer that you give are correct or not, or whether you are, I mean, you are very smart, you are able to answer every question very fast or not. They want to check that you can basically attack the problem in the right direction. They'll also help you to do so, and if they help you, they want to see that how can conclude from point A to point B. How fast, how can you see that gap and solve that gap? So that's what in algebra, that's what most of the questions will be like. So they'll also help you sometimes if you're stuck somewhere. But yeah, that's what the level of linear algebra questions is. So it's slightly above gate, but it's not numerical questions like in gate. It will be a different questions, different set of. I mean, they'll be checking your intuition. They'll be checking your understanding of the subject instead of just blindly solving problems. They'll checking your understanding, and they'll be mainly asking you questions from, as I said, eigenvectors, eigensolvers problems, matrix decomposition, basis chain, determinants, given a system of equations, when does it have infinite solution? When does it have finite solution? When does it have a unique solution? If given, say, if a system has two solutions, does it mean that it has infinite solutions, or does it mean it has always a unique solution? Can a system of equations have infinite solution? Can a system of equations have only two solutions, exactly two solutions? Is it possible? So questions which are not, I mean, traditionally asked in GATE. So you cannot prepare them in any ways because that depends on your understanding of the subject. So those are the questions. Those are kind of questions that normally LA in linear algebra is what is asked. For probability and statistics, I would suggest not so tough questions, but yeah, slightly as in LA, slightly above GATE. So in probability statistics as well, the questions would be slightly above GATE, mainly coming from probability distribution functions, CDF, CMFs, I'm sorry, PMFs, probability mass functions, exponential distribution. So what is mean? How do you find the mean of exponential? How do you find variance of exponential distribution? What does variance signify? What does mean signify? Those kind of questions, not so tough, but so they won't be a numerical problems like we do in GATE, but they will be intuition based problems, or they'll be mainly application based problems. They will try to see how well do you actually understand, how well can you apply it in a practical situation. That's what they're checking. So yeah,
Mhm. So would it be a good idea that when they are asking you a question, so rather than isolating yourself and just trying to solve it, that's not going to be a good
yeah,
method. You
yeah,
must talk it out loud and tell
exactly.
them your process of solving
Thinking, yeah,
and
exactly.
thinking.
So they actually want to see how you think. They want to see how you approach the problem, how you attack the problem. It's okay if you're going the wrong direction. They might point you out towards the right direction somehow. In some way, they will give you hints on something. They might point you towards right direction, but basically want to see how you approach the problem, how you attack the problem. They just don't want you to, I mean, blindly go and solve it like a mathematical problem, just
Mm.
doing solutions. So they want
Mm,
to see
mm,
how you
mm.
approach. So when you see a question, how do you think about the solution of that question? So they want
Mm.
to see step by step thinking process, and that's how
Yes.
they judge. Yeah.
Got
So
it, got it. So that's what students can keep in their mind. So talk it out, let them know what you are thinking, what do you think could be the next step, and try to do it in that manner rather than thinking it like a question answer setup like we have in GATE exam, right?
yeah. So also, I mean, I would also like to point that so when you so suppose you are asked a question you don't know the solution of, don't just blindly say, I mean, some random stuff, thinking that they might not understand. They understand well. They are, I mean, they're much more than qualified for this. So if you don't know answer to some question, don't just mumble something. Don't just say something. Tell them that, okay, I don't know this answer. Could you give me some hints if you think that you could solve that? So if you given hints, if you could not solve it, given hints also, just say that, sorry, sir, I don't know this answer to this question. Can you give me some other question? Yeah. So that's how you
Mm.
can say answers. Yeah.
Absolutely. Makes sense because they are not some HR guys who you
Yeah.
can just talk to, say random things and
And
convince,
convince. Yeah,
right?
exactly. So they
Yeah,
are very well, I mean, masters of that subject. So you cannot
absolutely.
fool them anyway.
Mm. Correct.
Yeah.
So how many questions are asked in a generic interview and for
Uh,
how long it goes on?
So around half an hour to 45 minutes is what one interview takes. Around, I mean, some may have gone to 1 hour, 1.5 hour also. But around 45 minutes is what average time is. 30 to 45 minutes is what average time is. And number of questions asked depends on how quickly you answer. So, so as I said, the time is 45 minutes. So if you can answer 10 questions in 45 minutes, that's also good. If you can answer 3 questions in 45 minutes, that's also good. So they mainly ask, as I said, linear algebra, probability statistics, and one coding question. That's what they ask. So it will be around 3 to 5 questions, maybe. Maybe they'll ask start from linear algebra. They'll ask one question, then they'll see your approach. If you're able to solve, that's good. If you're not able to solve, they'll give you hints. So it's not just, I mean, just a set of questions. Like you cannot
Mm.
just count the number of questions. It's like they'll give you hints. It's a to and fro
Two-way,
questions. Like
two-way
two-way
communication.
communication. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So it's like they'll ask you question, you'll answer something. They'll ask you question based on
Counter
your
question.
answer, counter question
Yes,
or
yes.
based on answer. That what if, okay, what if this happens? Can you solve this
Mm.
now? What if this?
Mm.
If you say something, what if this happens? It's like a
Mm.
counter. I mean, it's just one question, but a lot of sub questions in that. So that's how the questions will be. So around 3 to 5 questions if you ask me the total number of questions. But yeah,
Mhm.
they will involve many sub questions and
Many
to
sub
and fro
questions as
communication.
well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Got
So.
it. Uh, Other than gate score, does anything else affect the interview or selection, like specific academic background, project, any academic achievement, etc.?
Yeah, so if you have some good academic achievement, like you have some published papers or some journal papers, conference papers, have you attended some conferences? Yeah, that adds to a plus point somewhere. I mean, it's not major contributing factor, but yeah, that will also add to show that you are sincere towards academics. That's what they want to check, and it shows that. Other than that, if the background doesn't matter, I mean, so here at CDS, it's an interdisciplinary branch. So, I mean, there are 38 or 40 seats over here, 38, 40 seats. So, and they each year they takes a certain fraction for certain from a certain branch. So, suppose like 38 students, they'll take say 12 from mechanical, 5 from say CS, 10 from say EC or something like that. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
distribute that in some way depending on their requirements. Each year is not fixed. Each year the requirements change. So each year the number of people taken from different branches also change. So it's not a fixed parameter, but I mean, some students, I mean, that's a fraction that some students are taken from. So your background doesn't matter much. I mean, if you're from CS, okay. If you're from mechanical, that's also fine. So background doesn't matter over here in the interviews. But I mean, at a certain, I mean, as I said, there are certain number of seats reserved for certain branches, and it's not fixed. Also, you can also have 12 to 15 seats for mechanical, something like that. So if you're competing with other students, you're not competing with someone from CS. You're
Yes.
competing with someone from CS as well as someone from mechanical as well. So because in the
Mm.
12 seats, you're going to compete with other mechanical students. So that's how
Mm.
you're competing over here. So it's not a fixed. but then also the branch doesn't matter. And also the other academic achievements, yeah, if you have a good CGPA on in your BTech, so if you have a 9 above CGPA, that shows that you are actually interested in academics, or if you are, I mean, you are doing good. So that's also a plus point. Those are plus points, not compulsory, not required. So, but those do add certain weightage to your profile. Uh, Not a major contributing factors again, but yeah, some weightage is added to your profile if you have some other academic academic achievements in your undergrad studies, like publishing papers or something like
Yes,
that. Yeah.
yes.
So
They want to know, and they are also checking, as we were discussing. They are also checking whether you are actually serious into academics and higher studies, or you're just treating IISc program as
as
a backup.
a yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they check that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So.
they also want to see whether you are actually, I mean, as I said, they will judge you based on your interview. They'll actually, during your interview, they'll judge you whether you are actually interested. How much are you interested actually towards this masters, or towards your doing masters at CDS? How much devoted you are, how much compassion, how much passion you do have for it. So that's what they will check as well. And so other academic achievements, not like I've gone for states in football, that doesn't matter. But if you have done good in your, may say, published a papers, done something, done a very brilliant project,
Got
done
it.
a very good internship or something like in
Mm-hmm.
internships in Google or something, and some job experience or something like that, that might add to your profile. That might be of some weightage, some advantage to, might give some advantage to your profile. So yeah, that's all.
Related to project specifically, do they ask something?
Yeah, for your BTech final year project, if you have done, so if you're, it's okay if you have not published a paper, or if you have not done, I mean, your BTech project didn't result in something very breakthrough or something, then not looking for that as well. But I mean, they sometimes ask for a BTech project. I mean, if they find it interesting, if they find it aligned towards their domains. So in this interviews, so interview depends on two things. One is your preparation, other is the panel that is sitting there. So the panel is also different. So there are three, four panels in CDS department when you come for interview. There are three, four panels, and you will be allotted to some panel at random. And depending on the professors in the panel, so if so here at CDS department there are basically two sections. So one is computational section, which is focused on computational fluid mechanics, computational modeling of particles, solid mechanics, and so on and so forth. So computational domain, and the other is data science domain, which focuses on NLP, I mean language processing, and computer vision, and so on and so forth. So those are two sections. Now there will be so depending on your panel. So depending on your panel might be from either of them or both of them. It could be. So they'll ask you questions based on that domain. So if you have if you have done job in that domain or something, if you have some published papers in that domain, if your BTech final year project is in that domain, they might find it interesting and they might ask questions. It's okay if you have not published a paper from that final year project, or if you've not done some very excellent, I mean, breakthrough work in that BTech final year project, that's fine. But they'll, I mean, if they're interested, they find it interesting, then they might ask some questions in their project. Yeah, that could be a case. So.
Understood. Got it. Coming back to the coding part, that obviously a student from computer science would be
Mm.
better at coding questions than someone from a non-CS branch.
Yeah.
So means that's how it looks like from the outside. But what do you think? Are students from non-CS branch actually at a disadvantage during admission or any further process?
No, as I said, I mean, see, there are out of 38 seats or 40 seats, there are certain seats reserved for mechanical.
Yes.
So, I mean, the fraction is not fixed every year, but there are certain
Mm-hmm.
seats reserved for mechanical. So it does. So you're not competing with CS explicitly. I mean, it's yeah, you are competing with the students, but you're not competing explicitly with CS students. So it's not
Absolutely.
like all 40 seats would be given to CS students because they did good in their coding parts and all. Because I mean, as I said, it's a interdisciplinary branch. So over here, you are from mechanical, and there are computational branches. So, I mean, of course, their coding is better for CS people, coding is better, but we have better applied maths knowledge
Yes.
because we know calculus, we know
Correct. Correct.
differential equations, we know how to solve them, we know how numerical solutions, numerical methods work. So, I mean, of course, at certain point, we have certain advantages. In coding sections, they have advantages. So, if there are CS based subjects, of course, they are going to perform better. They have a better advantage over there. Coding questions, they have better advantage. But it's like applied maths, we have advantage over there.
Yes.
So, it's not, I mean, it's not something that if I'm not good at coding, so I should not apply, or should it's a, I mean, I do not have a good chance. It's not that you have a good chance if, even if you're from non-CS background, if you even if you don't know any coding, it's okay. Only the coding required over here is a certain level of coding. It's not that you should be, I mean, a top in coding. You should be the best in coding. That's not what is required. You should have a certain basic implementation level knowledge of coding. I mean, and that's done in your undergraduate. Undergraduate, you have
Mm-hmm.
some course in computer programming. At some level, you have some coding course or coding,
Mm-hmm.
some course you might have taken. So, and that knowledge is more than sufficient for, I mean, for doing, I mean, for doing masters over here. So
Mm-hmm.
non-CS people, I would say it's not a disadvantage to them. In fact, it's better because we have applied maths knowledge. So
Yes, that is
we
much
can
useful.
easily cope up
Mm.
anything. We can
Yes.
easily cover things. So, and coding
Mm.
is just a language. So
Yes.
it's not a restriction. It's like
Yes.
it's a tool. So think of it as a tool, not as a restriction to something. It's
Mm.
you can, I mean, you can learn coding at any time. It's not
Yeah.
difficult. So yeah.
And with new advancements in AI, I think it's
Chat
getting
GPT and all, you
it's
can learn
getting
coding
even
very
better.
fast. Yeah, you can learn coding even fast.
Yes.
So I would suggest if someone is joining CDS, yeah, if you do not have any coding knowledge, it's not so good. You should have some coding knowledge.
Mm.
It's okay if you're not the best in coding, if you do not have if you're not a topper in coding or something, it's okay. But you should have a basic level of coding so that you can solve assignments. So we are given assignments in coding, so you can solve certain assignments, certain programming questions in Python or C++ plus plus or both. So yeah, that is a certain level of coding is required, but that is not a restriction. It's not something that if you don't know coding, you won't get any. There is no chance for you. As I said,
Mm.
is a fraction, so you're competing with other mechanical students. So among that, you should have certain coding backgrounds or certain, I mean, at least some coding you should have done so that it's
Mm.
easier
Mm.
for you to take courses over here. It's easier for you to cope up in courses to do assignments over here. So
Mm.
that's why you
Mm.
should know coding, a certain level of coding, but it's okay if you're not the best in that. Yeah.
Correct. As some of you might know that sometimes even all India rank 1 in gate may not get selected in the
Yeah.
interview process, right, of
Yeah.
CDS, let's say, or IISc.
Yeah.
So yes, it is true. I'm reading a question where a student has asked that it is true that even gate toppers get sometimes get rejected, but what could be the reason, and what qualities or skills is the department actually looking for beyond gate? So Nihal.
So, yeah, it is true that gate rankers have been rejected. I know some of them who had a better rank than me also have been rejected. And it was actually a shock to me that, okay, why should they be rejected? I mean,
Mm.
they had a gate score of 1,000. I mean, I don't see any point in rejecting them. Even if
Mm.
their interviews go bad, it's 80% of gate score, 20% interview, mostly.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, 20% should not have so much weightage that they should get rejected. So that's what also shocked to me also. But yeah, it's true that gate rankers do get rejected. The reason is, I don't know this. I mean, I don't have a specific answer to that because it's all interview process. And there is no, I mean, I don't know anything about that. I mean,
It's going
so
on in four
yeah,
walls. We
yeah,
can't
it's going
know what.
on. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. It's going on behind
yeah.
the walls. We don't know
Yeah.
what's,
Yeah.
I mean, how they are choosing and all.
Mm.
But I would say that they see your sincerity. I mean, that's what mostly I have seen them doing. So so they don't want people who just come to ISC for 2, 3 months and then switch to PSU as soon as they get an offer from PSU, they just drop out of ISC and go there. So they do not want those kind of students. So if you are those kind of student, I mean, if you are one of them, then they will easily judge you. I mean, it's their job. They can easily judge you whether you are actually sincere or not. So don't think that gate rank is, I mean, if I'm AR1 in gate, so I'll definitely get, it's not that. You might get, there is a higher chance of getting, but as I said, they will basically checking your sincerity, how sincere you are, how passionate are you towards this course, how badly do you want this course.
Yes.
So they may check, I mean, they may judge you based on other from the interview, other from the questions, they will also judge you from how passionate you are towards this course. So yeah,
Correct.
that could also
Correct.
be one of the reasons.
Yes, yes. So as we were discussing few questions back, that if you have done something which shows your inclination towards
So,
academics,
yeah,
research, try to talk about it directly or indirectly, because it is possible that sometimes their judgment can be wrong, but you have to ensure that they get the
yeah,
point that you are interested, because there are so few seats, right? And so many students who want to get into this, but
mm,
obviously because once you get better rank, you have more choices. So people generally tend to join some course in ISC, then wait for PSU and then switch, which is not good because it's
mm.
a one of the
Waste of
prestigious,
seat, yeah.
right, vestige of seat. It's not good for anyone, right? So this is something which, if you are really interested in the course and you have done some project, research, publication, anything, just try to talk about it to show your sincerity towards it, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Now let's take some questions which are related to CDS and the program, but not related to interviews. So obviously, one of the question is that what are the major companies that recruit from CDS, and
Oh,
can you share some details about their work culture, roles offered, employee satisfaction level, etc.?
yeah, sure. So, I mean, there are a lot of companies that come here, starting from like Cisco, Amazon. I mean, I don't even remember all the names. There are, I mean, let me just tell you, I will not mention all the companies. I mean, there are a lot of companies that come. Some of the companies' name, even I didn't knew that when they came and came to know when when I just saw the mail.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of companies that come. You'll get plenty of opportunities if you are actually genuinely interested towards good jobs.
Hmm.
So if you are, I mean, if you are coming for a job, I mean, if you are coming here from a job perspective, don't worry about less companies or something like that. You'll get plenty of opportunities, plenty of job offers. I mean, plenty of those companies come, so you'll get plenty of opportunities to appear. I mean, to get into this data science field if
Hmm.
you're interested. So mainly the role is for ML engineer or data scientist, applied data scientist, applied ML engineer, uh, data engineer, something like that. Some, I mean, data science roles or that. There are also computing, I mean, HPC roles, high performance parallel computing roles as well. Also computational side, there are some roles. So if you're interested, uh, so that and if you are, I mean, ML engineer, those roles, and if you are so that's if you're interested in data science
Hmm.
specific roles.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's all. I think that's all. Yeah. So I
Understood.
mean, plenty of companies come. The job packages are also around. So average package goes around 20 LPA, 25 LPA. That's what average package over here is around.
Hmm.
So you'll get plenty of opportunities, plenty of companies come. If you're genuinely interested, I
If you are
think
interested. Hmm.
if you're genuinely interested in a placement or jobs, you won't face difficulty. I mean, of course,
Hmm.
you need to
Hmm. Hmm.
prepare for that also, but
Yes,
I mean, you'll get plenty of opportunities to prove yourself. So that's not an issue
absolutely.
if you're interested. And also job satisfaction, I think if you are earning good, and
Hmm.
also if you are interested in data science, yeah, you will get data science jobs. You'll get roles which are companies which work in data science, applied
Yes.
data science, and all. So if you're interested in data science, you will get to do that job. And if you are doing that job, you'll also get good money, good amount of. I mean, you'll
Hmm.
get around 25 LPA package, so it's a good
Hmm.
amount of money.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't think. I mean, job satisfaction is also good.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you are
So
interested in this domain,
yeah,
right? So
exactly.
generally, whoever works in such domains, technical domains, who are genuinely interested, they usually have higher satisfaction, work satisfaction
Yeah.
than other domains, because you actually get to do things and learn a lot on job as well.
Yeah.
Lots of things are there. I'm sure all of
It's
you are
like
aware.
applied work. So it's, I
Yes.
mean, whatever you do, you can see the reflection. I mean, you can see the outcome in front of your eyes. So
Hmm.
it's a applied job. So you'll, I mean, if you're interested in this domain, I mean, codes, if you're interested in this domain, that's one
Hmm.
of the important things. So if you're interested,
Yes.
yeah, in data science, you'll get a data science job. You'll get also on good money along with it. So yeah, overall job satisfaction is
Will be
quite good.
good.
I will. Yeah.
Yes. There's one question related to interest only, that for someone interested in core engineering domains, is it worth transitioning into a computational data science program like CDS?
Uh, See, frankly speaking, core domain, if you're in so if you're interested in job, say for example,
Hmm.
say, if you're interested in job, and if you do a core domain, core branch over here, you take a mechanical engineering branch and you do a MTech in mechanical engineering, and then you go for a job. So job for MTech mechanical engineering are less, I mean, compared to data science jobs right now, because yeah, of course, data science AI is at boom over here.
Yes.
Yeah, there is AI wave, so there are a lot of AI jobs. But MTech mechanical jobs are much lesser, and also the pay scale for MTech mechanical will be compared to data science jobs will be less.
Yes.
So if money is your aim, or if job, I mean, if you are interested in getting good money, yeah, you should apply for data science, and if you should switch domains.
Hmm.
But if your job is, I mean, if you're interested in mechanical, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you are willing to sacrifice some amount of money for the work you are interested in, domain you're interested in, then you can go for core brands as well. But if you are interested in job and if you're interested in for a good amount of money,
Hmm. Hmm.
data science is a way to go.
obviously. Does CDS allow students to explore interdisciplinary areas also, like computational fluid dynamics, or the coursework mainly is related to computer science?
No, the coursework is, I would say, it's not even related to, so it's related to computer. So there are, as I said, there are two sections over here. There is one computational section, one data science section. So in data science, you have courses like NLP, machine learning for data science, and there is computer vision. So those kind of courses which are, then there is medical imaging analysis. So, and, I mean, those are courses which are in data science domain. So similar, there are computational domain side courses such as random variates for numerical algebra, and there is courses like numerical solutions of differential equation, numerical methods, and a lot of courses, a lot of numerical side courses, I mean, computational side courses as well. So you'll have tensor competition. So, I mean, there are a lot of courses in both the domains. So once you get enrolled over here, you'll have, in the first semester, there are some core courses which are compulsory for everyone enrolling over here for FTech coursework students. So once you do those courses in the second semester, you will have a choice. I mean, you can either choose computational side, you can either choose data science side. So you have a, I mean, wide variety. I mean, you can choose interdisciplinary, I mean, from interdepartmental courses as well, from courses offered in other departments. So you can choose them as well. So you'll have a lot of choices in the different courses. I mean, and I think every course that you can think of is offered over here somewhere, somehow, somewhere. So you have a lot of choices in courses that you want to do. You can take courses from mechanical engineering if you're interested in core mechanical. You can do courses from data science, like say, I mean, series analysis or something like that. I mean, there are a lot of courses that are offered over here in other departments as well as our department itself. So I think that's not a problem. It's and the coursework is not CS heavy or the competition heavy. You have the freedom to choose your courses, except for the courses in first semester. And let me tell you, the courses in first semester, there is only one course which is CS oriented. The other three courses are either in probability, linear algebra, or numerical methods. So those three courses are basically applied math. Only one course is over here is in core CS course. So four courses are core courses over here, and out of those four courses, three are applied math and one is CS. So it's not a CS heavy, I mean, coursework. You can choose from the second semester. You have freedom to choose whichever area you are interested in. So yeah.
Understood. Got the point. So as we again, in the last question, we came back to the same thing that we discussed as the first question, that topics like linear algebra, probability, statistics, and some part of coding, that not only is going to form a big chunk of your curriculum in your first year,
Yeah.
but also it's going to obviously help you get there in the
Yeah.
interviews.
Exactly. Yeah.
So whatever time is left now for your interviews, make sure to immerse yourself in these topics, and not just from the point of view of getting to the right answer, but the actual fundamental concept which you can talk and discuss and answer when they are going to ask these things to you in the interviews. I'm sure this discussion gave you a lot of insights and clarity regarding the interview process and the coursework and the further placements regarding IISc CDS program. So thank you, Nihar, so much for taking out time again to guide students
Thank you.
regarding this. And we will also share one link of the website of Nihar,
Yeah.
where he has some FAQs and some more questions and answers of your possible queries that you may have. That will also help you. You can check the first comment. There we will put up the link. All right, Nihar, thank you so much and best wishes for your future journey.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.